Welcome, Urban Hope Church. We're so excited that you have chosen to find out a little bit more about Urban Hope Church. It's our hope in this growth track to introduce you to the church family and to give you a clear example of who we are and what we're all about and what we believe. Our story of how Urban Hope Church got here. About 2 years ago, 2015, God began to speak to me and my wife's heart just about planning a church. It's something that was always in our journey that we wanted to do. We just didn't know where and the timing. And in 2015, God began to speak to us. He really began to stir in our hearts and minds about planting a church. And so we asked our family and friends and other pastors just to join us in prayer in this season of just hearing God's voice and what He had in store for us. At the time, we were pastoring in a church down in Prescott, and we just started going to church planting schools and church planting conferences. And it was in that summer that God, without a shadow of a doubt, called us to Flagstaff, Arizona to plant a church. And so we began to get excited and dream, and we began to tell other pastors and friends of ours, and they decided to pack up and come with us. About 15 other families decided to come to Flagstaff with us to help us plant a church. These were pastors, these were families that had full-time jobs, and they packed up everything, their kids, their families, and came to Flagstaff to help us reach people here in this city for the cause of Jesus Christ. In September 2017, we opened the doors to Urban Hope Church. We've been so amazed at what God has been doing at this church since then. Just miracles after miracles, seeing God move in our church and in the city. At Urban Hope Church, our growth tracks are our membership classes. And today, in part 1, is simply Church 101. It's about our passion and our mission. And we want you to know what our passion and our mission is here at Urban Hope Church. In 1 Corinthians chapter 1, starting at verse 10, it says this. It says, "Let there be harmony among you, so that there will be no split in the church. I plead with you to be in one mind, united in thought and in purpose." John 13, starting at verse 35, says this, "By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, how you love one another." It's our mission at Urban Hope Church to love, to equip, and to multiply. We want to love each person right where they're at in their season of life and right where they're at in their walk with Jesus Christ. If they've known Him for a long time, at the very beginning of a relationship with Jesus Christ, or they really don't even know Him yet. We want to love every person right where they're at in their season of life. And we also believe that it's our job as the church to equip each believer with the tools and resources and the encouragement to help them walk out their own God-given dream, their own God-given purpose in their life. We want the church to multiply. We want a church to be full of believers that are so excited about what Jesus is doing in their life that they cannot help but go and tell other people about Jesus Christ. Our purpose, why we exist as a church. We exist to reach people with the life-giving message of Jesus Christ so that people can experience the purpose and the fulfillment that God has always intended for them in their life. We pray that people that come to Urban Hope Church feel the presence and hope of Jesus Christ so much that it awakens their God-given purpose and destiny in their life. We believe that every follower of Jesus Christ is a minister. We believe that everyone has an audience. And we believe that everyone has a stage somewhere waiting for people to speak life into them. At Urban Hope Church, our core values are first, to serve intentionally. We want to serve this city and serve the people of this city. We want to hit real needs, real struggles that they're going through. We want to be a help to them until simply they ask us why. And then we want to share the hope of Jesus Christ with them. Secondly, we want to worship intimately. When we gather at any gathering at Urban Hope Church, we want people to be able to worship freely. And in their worshiping freely, they can experience the presence of God. And we also want people to know that worshiping freely is something that we should do every single day through our days as believers of Jesus Christ. Thirdly, we want to teach truthfully. We know that our culture is changing, and the culture tells us that we can live our lives in all these different ways. And we know that we must hang on to the biblical truths that Jesus left us. No matter how our culture changes, no matter what our culture says about the Bible, that we must live by and hang on to the biblical truths of Jesus Christ. Fourthly, we want to disciple effectively. We believe, again, it's our calling as a church to disciple believers, is to give them the tools and the resources for them to begin to walk out their own God-given calling in their life. And lastly, we want to cultivate community. In the world that simply tells us that you can do life on your own, that you really don't even need to leave your house anymore, we believe that we simply need friends, and we simply need good friends, godly friends that surround us, that are there in the highest moments of our life and are there at the lowest moments of our life. Our Sunday services will be a time for celebration. There'll be a time of inspiration, and there'll be a time for salvation. We promise that we'll use all the talents and gifts and abilities that God has brought to this church to simply create the best Sunday that we can, the best message that we can, the best worship setting that we can, and the most friendly environment that we can because of all the resources that God has brought to our church. We want Sunday to be our best, that when people walk in, it is a place that they can very easily connect with Jesus Christ. We believe that every believer plays a role in winning people to Jesus Christ. You can help us do this by simply accepting personal responsibility that this is your church and you're excited about it. You can help us by building relationships with people that maybe you know and maybe you don't know, but simply looking to build relationships with people. You can help us by sharing your personal story, again, with people that you know and with total strangers. There's power in your story of how you came to know Jesus Christ. And lastly, you can give a personal invitation. They still say that today, that 80% of people that you ask to come to church will say yes and come with you. We want to be a church that is engaged inside our walls and outside the walls. We want to be a church that when you come to church, everybody knows your name, and they're excited that when you get there, and the presence of God is definitely in that room. But we also want to be a church that is interested, and our heart breaks for the things that are going on outside the walls. And we want to be a church that is engaged in people's lives, again, no matter where they are in their walk with Jesus Christ. So you can help us be a church that is engaged inside our walls and outside in our city by simply praying. Pray for your church. Pray for the people of this city and pray for your city. You can help us by going and telling people what God is doing in your life, what God is doing in your church, and the things that you're excited about for God to do in your city. And lastly, you can help us by giving your time and your talents and your resources to the church. We believe at Urban Hope Church that we also should give 10% of our finances to the cause of Jesus Christ. And I can tell you personally that I've done that my whole entire life, and God has never let me down in my finances when I've honored Him in giving 10% of my finances to Him in the cause of Jesus Christ. We believe that every member is a minister, that every task is important, and that everybody is a 10 in some area. How we are structured. 1 Corinthians 14, verse 33 and 40 says this: "For God is not a God of disorder, but of peace. Everything should be done in a fitting and orderly way." Urban Hope's government is guided by pastors. We believe that it's the pastor's job to be in their word and hear from God to lead and direct the local church. We are protected by trustees. These are 7 members inside the local church that the pastors select to oversee the finances of Urban Hope Church. We're strengthened by overseers. These are 5 pastors that have been selected to be over our church to give us protection and correction if needed and when needed to the pastoral staff. We definitely believe in accountability at Urban Hope Church. We believe in checks and balances to keep ourselves accountable to one another and to the calling of God that He's placed upon Urban Hope Church. Our hope for you is that as you watch the rest of these videos, that God will speak to you. No matter where you are in your walk with Jesus Christ, we believe that God has designed us to do life together, and especially following after the purpose that He's placed in each and every one of our lives. We do it better together. So if you're looking for a place that will love you and walk beside you in life and in your journey with Jesus Christ, then we believe that this is the place for you. If you're looking for a place that will give you the tools and resources and the encouragement to chase after God and go deeper in your walk with Jesus Christ, then we believe that this is the place for you. If you're looking for a group of people who are in love with Jesus Christ and want to simply tell other people about Him, then this is the church for you. We're so excited about what God is doing in your life, and we hope that we can be the church that walks alongside you as you continue to follow after Jesus Christ. Again, we want to say thank you for taking time and watching this video, and we hope to see you on Sunday morning.